Hello again. This is the COMM 101 and the 80N course. We're going to do your critiques for your informative speech. And let me go over a couple of things before we get into that. Discussion boards. Some of you aren't doing discussion boards. And again, we run into the age-old problem of not reading the directions. Please read the directions. You don't read the directions, you don't follow up on what the assignment is, you run the risk of not getting any points, but worse than that, you run the risk of not getting all the points that are available in that particular discussion board. So please read the directions. Now let's go over what the assignment was on the informative speech. You had 200 points riding on this speech. There's one 300-point speech, and that's a huge one, and then you've got the special occasion speech, so, pay attention. Time requirements, 5 minutes to 8 minutes. That means it needed to run between 4:45 and 8:15. More than that, you're going to go down in your grade. Less than that, you're going to go down in your grade. You needed 6 people in your audience. You needed to make this an extemporaneously delivered speech, which means that you rehearse it. Please, 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 please don't memorize these or try to memorize them. That is why you are asked to have a speaking outline and a preparation outline. I have papers in front of me. This could be the speaking outline. All I need to do is look down and see where I'm going to go next and look up. Please make sure that you have that in front of you. Don't put it out here and read, and don't put it down here and read. Just look down. But when you start your speech, be looking straight at the camera. Give me a really strong start. Same thing on your finish. Then if you have to look down to see where you're going next, fine. We're not trying to have you be perfect here. Please don't memorize anything. That's not worth it in this class. It's not going to help you at all. If you have a little kind of a glitch while you're speaking, a couple of you did that, and you just said, "Excuse me, I lost my place," and pick up on it again. Fine. This is not the kind of class that you're going to get shot if you don't do everything perfectly. In fact, I'd rather see you have a mistake or two along the line because it makes you human, and that's the way people converse when they're talking to each other. All right, so you needed a speaking outline and you needed a preparation outline. You needed at least one visual aid. Some of you, and some of you sent me a visual aid, but you never referenced it in your speech. I've got to know what you're talking about in the speech. Now, the fact that I don't see it, I don't want the camera moving and all that, reference your visual aid for your audience as though you were in a face-to-face class. I will look at the visual aid because you've sent a copy of it to me. You need at least 3 sources in the speech. Now, that remains perhaps the biggest problem in this class is citing of sources. If you say that there are 3,000 heart attacks in this country each day, and then go on to the next thing, and heart attacks are the biggest killers of women, and then you go on to the next thing, and even young people can have a heart attack. Those are 3 things you've said, and the first question I'm going to ask is, what made you an expert on heart attacks? Where are you getting that information? Now, you may have cited it in your speech, in your bibliography where you got it. That doesn't cut it in a speech. You must say, according to the American Medical Association, 3,000 heart attacks occur in this country every day. And according to the National Doctors Association, women are at greater risk of heart attacks than men. And just in case you're wondering, according to the National Pediatric Association, young people, kids, can have heart attacks too. Now, you've given me a source in every one of those facts. And that's where you're all falling down is you're not giving me sources when you make a statement of fact. And that is just a huge no-no. All right, Calleo, C-A-L-L-E-O. You were going to speak about pot. Unfortunately, your speech didn't load. There's a big note there in red that says, check back to make sure your speech loaded. It didn't load, so there's no credit for the speech because you must go back and make sure that the speech actually loaded. Next up is Gabby. Gabby spoke about sleep, and I'm just looking at some notes here. I wrote one of the things I said, use pauses effectively, and I note that you got better as you went on, but you didn't do real well at first. I got no visual aid from you at all. You only sent me the bibliography in the speech outline. You didn't ever mention anything about works cited in your speech itself. You gave no sources in the speech, and they were only in the papers you sent me, but not in the speech itself. You had a very disjointed opening. You need to work on flow, and you need to start strong. Come out, be enthusiastic, be strong, be an advocate of your own speech. When you come out and you're kind of like, okay, today I want to talk to you about a really exciting thing that will cause you to have a great deal of fun. You're not selling your speech. You're not selling yourself. You need to be out and you need to believe in what you're talking about. If you're bored about what you're talking about, then I guarantee you I'm going to be bored. Your audience is going to be bored. You've got to come out and say, you know, this is speech. I find this topic is great. I find it interesting. Kind of that attitude. You don't have to say it that way, but your attitude and the way you say things will convey that. You need to tie your thoughts together so it does not sound like you are delivering a collection of facts. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 3 is 6. That's a collection of facts. Tie it together. Why are you telling me this stuff? What's it for? What am I supposed to conclude from all of this? What is your expertise for most of the statements in fact you make? You don't cite any sources, so I presume you're an expert, but I have no way of knowing that because notice that when you get into established your credibility, you didn't do a very good job of that, so I don't even know what it is that you have for an expertise. Watch your vocalized pauses, the uhs, and then we're going to do this. For instance, you say at one point, for instance, high blood pressure causes a heart condition. Are you a doctor? What's your source for that? Again, when you make a statement of fact, high blood pressure causes a heart condition, you got to tell me where that comes from. You are 2 minutes into your speech, you're stating multiple facts without any sources. You have a weak ending. It's our health and safety will be pretty good. Our health and safety will be pretty good. Well, you need to do something to spike up the ending of your speech. Let's go to Doberman. Doberman, you talked about exercise. It was an outstanding opening. Good establishment of credibility. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Excellent eye contact. But that's the good news. Bad news, where are your sources? One of your best to date in terms of a speech, very well done. You must cite sources. Watch the tisk sound. And you know what was really good was you had that really nice warm smile at the end. And boy, what a way to leave your audience. Nice warm smile. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope you've enjoyed this speech as much as I've enjoyed giving it. And it's quality speech. Well done. Your grade will reflect that. Next up is Harley. Harley, you spoke about stroke. Excellent setup and a start for your speech. Excellent citation of sources. Yes, way to go. Excellent establishment of your credibility. You need to strengthen your ending a little bit. You need to make that really strong. You were very good on your sources at the start. Then you kind of faded out of that and no more sources as you went on. You need to continue to cite sources. You have a light tisk. Watch that. And a very nice touch. We wear name tags here. Your name tag was on all along. And, okay, fine. You work at a healthcare thing and you got on your healthcare thing. You made a reference to why you had this. Yes, yes. Way to go. Little things, little bitty things are things sometimes that people don't notice. And you're talking about a stroke and you're talking about a team that's particularly qualified to handle certain issues. And this part of the credential shows that. Way to go. Nice job. Your grade will also reflect what you did. We're going to take a break here, and we're going to come back and finish the rest of them after this break.